Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. A lot of people are starting the new year off sick in bed. According to the CDC, the super contagious norovirus is spreading across the U.S. My next guest, Dr. Danish Ali of Archpoint Pain Institute, has more details on the outbreak and what you need to know.
So norovirus is a virus of the stomach and the intestinal tract. What happens is that folks that are in closed environments, such as cruise ships specifically, or even schools or airports, they get infected with this virus that causes severe illness as it relates to GI symptoms. And so you get nausea, vomiting, and severe diarrhea. That diarrhea can result in severe hydration if it lasts long enough. And that severe dehydration can then lead you into the hospital. So just last month, Isaiah, there were over 900 people that got sick on a cruise ship because they developed this norovirus that spreads very fast and it's very contagious.
And of course, we want to give the public a false sense of security. The cruise ship is not the only place you can get it, right?
That's correct, Isaiah. It's just this is known and it's notorious for spreading because, as you can imagine, when you're in a closed environment for an extended period of time, i.e. a ship, cruise ship, etc., you are in around those folks that may be infected, and that can spread very fast, especially if you do not wash your hands. And that's the number one thing I want to get out of this is people to understand that we can help eliminate and prevent this from happening if we just practice our due diligence with washing our hands constantly, carrying that hand sanitizer, especially if you're out in a cruise ship or you're going to be in an environment where there's close, prolonged contact with folks.
How dangerous is it for children and those who may have pre-existing medical conditions, or does that play a role in it?
It does, Isaiah. So for folks who are immunocompromised or have a weakened immune system, or they have other medical conditions, like you said, those folks are at higher risk for developing other illnesses, like where their body shuts down or their organs shut down as a result of severe dehydration. What we call that is sepsis, where your body organs start shutting down. And so it's very important if you have these symptoms, the nausea, the vomiting, severe diarrhea, a low-grade fever. If it lasts beyond a couple of days, you need to get evaluated because it may not just be your quote-unquote stomach bug. It may be a norovirus or something else that's going on. And if you don't treat that adequately, and if you don't get significant hydration, that whether it be through IV hydration or drinking lots of water or things like Powerade, Gatorade that have nutrients in it. Those are things that you need to make sure that you're doing if you are having any of these symptoms.
And of course, aside from hydrating yourself, what would be the treatment that a doctor would give?
Yeah, Isaiah, mainly it is hydration and it's also symptom management. So if you're having fever, chills, we can manage that with medications that can reduce the fever. If it's a hydration, we can give IV fluids. And also there are medications that are treated for like symptoms that you're having, like nausea, vomiting. There's Zofran and other medications that can help prevent and decrease your nausea, vomiting, for example.
And if you feel like you have the symptoms, and do you suggest hydrating yourself or going to a doctor, your primary care physician first, or should you take the measures that you said by hydrating yourself? Because I don't know how I would actually know. I would think I'd just have a stomach ache or something like that. And I think it may take a doctor to give you a definitive answer.
That's correct, Isaiah. No, I agree with you on that. If the symptoms are going on beyond a couple of days, or you're having severe diarrhea, for example, where you're just in the bathroom constantly and, you just feel lightheaded or you feel like you're going to pass out, or you're having severe vomiting, like these are all things that are concerning, Isaiah. And if you can't manage them at home, especially in the first couple of days, because we know the typical simple stomach bug generally lasts for about 24 hours and it goes away, right? This is prolonged and it's severe in its symptoms, where it'll really get you sick if you're not hydrating yourself in drinking those electrolytes, soup, things that have electrolytes and nutrients in them, because that, if you don't, then you're going to get severely dehydrated, and that can result into organs dysfunctioning and prolonged illness.